just like the hydration breaks in the World Cup, he feels like this will replenish the side. As the cross comes served in, it's cleared away by Vera.
Sort of has to for Toronto at some point, right? They've got to get it right. Know Robin well enough to know that he's an absolute winner as well. He won't be happy with results and sometimes performances, but I think what's hurt him most has been the ridiculous amount of injuries he's had to deal with. When you come back in after the World Cup, and that first game's against Montreal in a rivalry game, not an easy task, but it's good football here they're playing.
Sargent dropped in, tried to thread the ball through. It's well read by Jalen Neal in the back line.
Nice.
There's a good interchange to the top of the box. Etienne Jr.'s blocked. Larea comes in to clean things up. There's a threaded ball from Toronto FC into the box. Good footwork. Back Etienne Jr. deflects over the crossbar. Out for our first corner kick of the game.
Great football. Patient build-up. And Etienne Jr. found himself in the right place at the right time, just closed down so quickly, couldn't really get an effort on target. I love the little interchange from Toronto. Good 1- and 2-touch passing right there to create the opening and get their chance.
It's been end-to-end though so far in this rivalry game. Coelho will come over to serve this corner. Everybody back defending for CF Montreal. Coelho, high lofted, out swinging, and the referee blows his whistle instantly. Guido Gonzalez Jr. points as it had curved out of play. And that's disappointing from Coelho from the first set piece of the game.
Yeah, big disappointment. Never used to enjoy that when I'm out there on the field as well. Ball going out of play, back in play with that whip of the ball. That could be a problem for Montreal. Just watch out for those set pieces. Also, here comes the high pressure.
Guy to Laturi, who's none the worse for wear, but not the ball that he was looking for. Shallowy dispossessed Laturi. Laturi looking for Rios. Rios cushions Montlouis, good tackle away. Zane Montlouis, one of the young defenders, partnered with Walker Zimmerman, the veteran. Robin Fraser has spoke highly of Walker Zimmerman's leadership and what he offers for those young centre-backs he pairs him with. Yeah,
hugely important, right? Having that experience when you're working alongside the youngsters. Lovely challenge there for Montlouis. That timing's so important.
Just seeing a little bit of that rust right now. Boots it long. And Sargent was the target of the ball. Offers something different to this Toronto FC line. Robin Fraser was full of superlatives for Josh Sargent and how he's at a level that MLS is not expecting right now.
Well, listen, he scored 3 goals, Josh Sargent, already from the 7 starts that he's had in MLS. Lots of money spent on him, but he also wants to be 100% fit so he can offer his full potential. We know how good he is, and he can be. It's a lovely touch right there.
It's Noah Streit, the young Swiss player on the ball. Streit, weaving Streit, over to the far side for Sinchuk! Doesn't miss by much. This exclusive net camera replay is brought to you by AT&T. Let's look at how close this was.
Well, you can see the goalkeeper was slightly worried, but Sinchuk just doesn't really catch the ball well. It sort of takes 2 contacts off both feet right there. The shot from the right takes a little bobble off the left foot and away from danger it goes. No trouble whatsoever for Gavran.
Sinchuk was involved with the epic comeback in the 4-4 draw for CF Montreal. The last time they played back on May 23rd in Major League Soccer against DC. Scored 2 goals in stoppage time to come back from a 4-2 deficit to take a point.
Love the supporters here. So
for Zimmerman. Anchoring the defence over to Montlouis. Gillier a little panicked.
He panicked there for a little minute. Gillier, an unbelievable character. For such a young player, he has a tremendous amount of confidence. He's not shy in just holding on to the ball a little longer than probably he should.
He's already on 3 yellow cards to Gillier. All 3 of them are for dissent.
Tells you a lot about the character.
Here's Etienne
rivalry
Jr.
games though over the course of the next couple of days. Today, St. Louis and SKC, plus Seattle against Portland, Nashville, Atlanta tomorrow, and also LA Galaxy against LAFC. Derek Etienne Jr. with this throw, looping in towards that front post, and the flick from Zimmerman, the foul given by Guido Gonzalez Jr.
Just a little push there on Bugai as he comes into that near post for the long throw, gets his head on it as he often does as an attacker in the opposition box.
Robin Fraser admitted that they did not get anywhere near as many points as they would have wanted leading up to the World Cup break, especially given the fact that there were 9 of those 14 games played at home at Vivo Field. They'll return there in the middle of August. Home game against New England Revolution on August 15th, the first time TFC will be back at BMO. Here's Josh Sargent in the challenge there with Brian Vera. Sargent goes down, the referee was right there and plays on.
Not a great ball out from Jalen Neal, just a little scrappy at times. Sargent feeling the force of that Brian Vera tackle, but I thought it was a clean one. Good enough for the ball. The referee was in a good spot to see it and not give the foul.
Sargent scored in the final game before the World Cup break. Got the levelling goal in the first half against Chicago, which ultimately ended in a TFC defeat by 2-1. Sargent with 3 goals so far in 9 appearances. Here's Gilman down the left side. Zimmerman, who was a World Cup player in 2022 with the US in Qatar. TFC coming forward, Larrea, and Larrea with a shove on Laturi. Who does he think he is, Hakimi?
It's a good run from Larrea to break clear of the pressure. Laturi was pulling onto him a bit. There's no need to push out, shove him like that. I think the referee should be on top of it. Great run. Get a power of Larrea. Laturi can't stick with him then. That's just petulant from Richie Larrea. Told us on Part of the Bus the other day how he plays with that edge, and this is the attitude that we see from him in games. It gives him something a bit extra on the field, but at times it's in danger of boiling over.
Etienne Jr. out wide to the right side. Now Corbianu. Corbianu's ball floated into the back post. Chaloui gets there, and somehow Montreal managed to get it away there with Bugai. Here's Sinchuk down the right side. Up towards halfway, the battle is on as Zimmerman beats Rios to the ball. This is Gilman down the left side. He's made a decent start to his MLS career, having made the step up. Jackson Gilman. No yellow card for that shot by Richie Larrea. Maybe Guido Gonzalez Jr. was watching his MLS refereeing colleague Ismail Elfath yesterday, keeping his cards in his pockets early.
Oh, it sounds like you're a bit bitter about that one. You felt like you should have been given Argentinian yellows a bit earlier.
That's common.
I thought I thought he refereed the game pretty well. It's a difficult one. The minute you give a yellow card, you're heading towards 8, 9, 10 cards and probably a red. So held off well, in my opinion.
Says the Scot. Neal across the back here towards Brandon Craig. Craig stepping forward, trying to get away from Josh Sargent here as Montreal look to push forward. Pierre back towards Jalen Neal. Neal goes long down that left side, and he'll be chased there by Noah Strait, but he can't get there, and this one will go out for a goal kick.
It's too obvious. Jalen Neal winding up that long ball, and Kobe Franklin just reads it, drops off. He's always in a commanding position. Noah Straight's looking for better service than that, as we see the Stade Saputo faithful cheering on their team.
Some interesting reports coming out this afternoon about the province of Quebec and their commitment, maybe that will be confirmed over the course of the next few days, to renovate the inside of Olympic Stadium, which would be huge for Montreal moving forward, especially with the MLS schedule changing towards the winter. Longstaff plays this across for Neil. Give a huge boost to this team. They were able to play in a renovated big O. Sinchuk down the right side, picked up here by Laturi. And it goes out off Alonso Coelho for the throw.
It's a good idea. He's trying to feed it into the feet of Daniel Rios. A light stretch run across the front to clear some space. Montreal, probably the team that are still on the front foot, and a little piece of skill there from Gennady Sinchuk.
Towards Vera. Vera's ball forward. Louis turns. Minutes in. And Bugai steps in after Toronto couldn't keep possession. Bugai driving forward. And the block comes in for Gilman. Just the one shot on target so far in this game, as Etienne Jr., who played once for Haiti in the World Cup, gets it back towards Coelho.
It was his giveaway look, though, that led to that counter-attack from CF Montreal. Should have made more of it. Bugai had the option of Sinchuk to his right. TFC did a good job, Zimmerman and Gilman, of just narrowing up and making a nice block in the end when Bugai chose the shot.
Forward from Vera. Longstaff, the former Toronto man, battles in the midfield, and Piet gets it back, and the referee gives the free kick here the way of Toronto FC. Eric Etienne Jr. playing 9 minutes off the bench for Haiti in the World Cup group stage. 3-0 loss against Brazil. Coelho will put this one down to take the free kick here in the 19th minute at Stade Saputo, where Montreal have won 3 times this season. They've lost twice and drawn once. 70th start in his MLS regular season career for Alonso Coelho. Here's the high ball in towards Zimmerman at the back post, and cleared away by Bugai. Franklin couldn't get there. The referee allows play to continue as Noah Straight went down. Back towards midfield man tonight, Richie Larea for Toronto. Both of these teams level on 14 points. Montreal 11th in the East, Toronto 13th. They're 4 points off the top 9. Top 9 gets you into the playoffs, but only into that knockout round. Top 7 is 6 points away for both of these sides. Gavron forward down the right. Larea turns and loses the ball. It's played through from Piet to Rios. Rios from distance, straight against Zimmerman.
It's got to be better than that, though, Luke. It's a great chance for Rios to run out of defence.
Bugai. Now Sinchuk. Blocked by Gilman. Neil's header forward. Picked up in the midfield by Loturi. Battle of the 2 number 22s there as Larea tracks him all the way to the far side. Brought down by Bugai. Piet. Neil's ball forward. This is Noah Straight. Longstaff now.
Sloppy stuff. Sloppy from Montreal, who had another great chance here. A couple of times actually from Rios. Sinchuk don't make the most of their opportunity that man there, Philip Olafoy, will be a little disappointed that with some of the openings that his team's had, that they've not opened the scoring in this game so far.
The referee's given a free kick here. Montreal lost their last home game, which was May 16th, 2-0 against Chicago. Olafoy came in, made a big impact quickly, got back-to-back wins to end April against the Red Bulls in New York City, but they've only won 1 of 5 since then. Neil. Bugai curling this down the right. It was cut out there by Coejo down the left touchline, and the foot in from Bugai to put it out of play for a Toronto throw. Sargent. I'm sure Toronto would have hoped Georgi Mihailovic would have been good to go from the start today, but maybe able to make an impact off the bench.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see him look. I thought he would be back at full speed, but not quite there, not quite ready, which is disappointing. They need their best players out there. As we said, they don't have time to waste here.
Given away by Coejo. Trasso down the left. He just signed a new contract last week with CF Montreal. Toronto-born left back, formerly with TFC. Played back by Etienne Jr. This is Monlouis with the high ball forward down the right side. Seventh start of the season. Now Longstaff, who was brought over to Toronto by John Herdman.
He's got Danny Pereira now breathing down his neck. Both the guys, I would think Pereira will be expected to start. What a terrible ball from Gillet to Jalen Neal. This has been the story of the half, isn't it? Some really sloppy football. Both sides look really rusty. I know we've been watching World Cup semi-finals, the best football in the world, and you come to this, I think the number of mistakes that you're seeing are quite staggering at the minute. These guys look off the pace.
Is that to be expected, given the long layoff?
Potentially, yes. It's never easy to have a layoff in the middle of a season, but it's not been great. They don't look like sides that can make a run and burst into playoffs, do they? So far in this game.
Coejo's ball high in towards the back post. Longstaff loses out. Franklin's ball back for Richie Larea on halfway. Larea in that midfield role tonight. It is 1 year to the day that Toronto FC produced an incredible performance in San Diego.
Yeah.
And Richie Larea was playing in midfield that night.
Played really well, didn't he, that night? Excellent. I think it's a position he can play.
Sinchuk's first touch takes him wide. Second touch gets the cross in. It's headed away by Zimmerman.
Good defending.
Montreal corner.
Yeah, Zimmerman in the right spot. Lovely ball to Sinchuk. And the early delivery this time, which I think Rios will appreciate. Good concentration from Zimmerman to be in the right spot. It's out for a corner to Montreal on this near side.
Zimmerman, the two-time MLS Defender of the Year, getting that one away. And Longstaff now preparing the right foot out swinging corner here in front of Montreal's supporters at that end of the stadium. Their first corner of the game, cleared away by Kobe Franklin, out for another throw. 26th minute here as Sinchuk plays it back for Longstaff. He's offside.
Yeah, can't possibly play that pass. It's so obvious that
actually caught offside the second most times of any team in MLS this year so far.
The touch, has he, Josh Sargent? TFC struggled to get him into the game, to get any balls into his feet, into his chest, things like that, where he's working on scraps. He's trying to create something with his energy, but it's been difficult.
Rios with the ball back there for Longstaff. Amnoa straight down that left side, running at Kobe Franklin. Richie Larea helping out with the challenge there. The referee allows play to continue, and here come TFC down the right with Corbianu. Piet chasing to try and get back there, and it's Corbianu here looking to try and get across into the middle. He does so, but Gillier can claim.
Yeah, lovely little counter-attack that from TFC. Never a penalty in a million years. No straight. Never gets the other side of Richie Larea or Kobe Franklin. Up the other end, Corbianu isolates Piet 1v1. You know he's going to beat him. Aims to kind of chip it into the box. Not a great delivery from him.
With Jalen Neal. Across the back for Vera. Gillier plays this one out. He was originally scheduled to leave Montreal in June, head back to Bologna. But Montreal extending that loan until the end of the season with a further option into next year. Become a Chile international during his time in Montreal, Thomas Gillier. 3 clean sheets this season. He started every game as he fires this one forward. Teams giving the ball away cheaply as Rios brings it down here and flicks this one on for Longstaff. Loturi. Petrasso trying to get away from Corbianu as Longstaff picks it up here. Straight. Now Longstaff. Sinchuk into the box, and that one's gone off Gilman for Montreal's second corner.
Well done, Gilman. Stays with it. Little step over from Sinchuk. Trusts his right foot again. Gilman's here every step of the way. Sinchuk's been the liveliest player on the pitch. I think he's the one that looks most likely to open the deadlock here. I'm going to say that was very good defending from Jackson Gilman.
A coach who was assistant to Greg Vanny during Toronto's successful years, including the Supporters' Shield winning season in 2017. Yet to really get consistency out of this group of players. And Louis steps in. Huge injury issues though during the opening weeks of this campaign for Toronto FC. Sinchuk, back he comes for Bugai. Vera now finds Petrasso, in for Piet. Sargent tried to win it back but couldn't. On Louis sliding in with a challenge, the referee plays on and then gives the free kick.
Yellow card, I think, for that one. Forman Louis, no. Guido Gonzalez Jr. doesn't even think about it really, but I think this one's a little bit nasty. When you come in on the ground like that, you don't get the ball. He gets a bit of the ball, maybe that's what saves him. In fairness, but I still think he comes through no straight to do it. So ultimately, the ref probably makes the right call to give him the benefit of the doubt as he got a bit of the ball.
So far this season. Can they add another one here? Sinchuk's delivery swung in, headed away as far as Matty Longstaff. And
Sargent back there, look, defended the free kick and then does really well to get something on this. Hard to tell where Sinchuk's shot was going, but Sargent doesn't know that. He's just got to get something on it. Sinchuk all over to the far side now to take this corner.
Sinchuk's stoppage time, game tying goal just before the break was his first of the season. This is his 9th appearance, his 5th start of the campaign. No assists yet in MLS this year for Sinchuk. This one's the outswinger. Zimmerman or Sargent the one to get the head on that one there. Sinchuk. You guys crossing deep. Rios couldn't get there. Well defended by Corbianu.
Really great header from Theo Corbianu at the far post. Wasn't an easy one. Deep ball. I thought maybe Gavron would have came for that. Corbianu, forward-thinking player, deals with it extremely well.
Longstaff's ball down the right side. Monlouis across to defenders. Rios did well, held that up and finds Longstaff. Sinchuk. Piet rolls it in. Bugai's ball straight out of play.
He's been a bit hurried a few times, Bugai, isn't he? You gotta admire his endeavour, I would say. Look, he's been involved in this first half, but at times, especially when he ends up inside, his qualities just caught wanting a touch.
It's going to be really interesting to see which teams who are on the outside of the playoff positions in the East can try and get some momentum here towards the end of the season, because there are lots of teams down there who would expect to be making it to the playoffs. Big spending teams like Atlanta, teams that were successful last year like Philadelphia, Orlando are outside, Columbus as well, a perennial playoff team. Montreal and TFC fighting with all of these teams who are below the line right now to try and get above it.
Yeah, it's going to be an almighty fight, as you mentioned. You've got to go in some kind of run. It's not going to be good enough to be a win here or there. It needs to be consistent wins and on the trot for TFC or Montreal if they're going to do it.
Corbianu stepping inside against Petrasu, and over the bar it goes from Theo Corbianu.
Not great, not great. Nice little move to create the half yard, but again, just that erratic finish at the end of it. It's not just that man there, Theo Corbianu, that's been the culprit of that. It's been a number of players tonight who have lacked the quality, lacked maybe match sharpness because of the break. Give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's been a tough half to watch in terms of the action inside both boxes.
6 goals, 2 assists for Corbianu in 33 appearances over the course of the last 2 seasons since returning to his hometown. Sinchuk down the right side, he's got options in the middle, Laturi forward as well, but Sinchuk trying to go himself. Laturi, Longstaff, both pushing into the box there, but couldn't be found. Here's Petrasu, shoulder to shoulder with Corbianu, and the referee gives this one. The assistant kept his flag down during that battle before waiting for the whistle from referee Guido Gonzalez Jr.
It was a good battle, a good race between Petrasu and Corbianu. Two players that know each other really well. Trying to do him for pace now, outside Corbianu, and fairness to Petrasu, he does very well to just keep his body in front of the TFC winger. Commits a foul in the end.
Until the break here as Noah Strait chases down that left side, but out it goes for a throw. Toronto's last win came back on April 4th, 3-2 against Colorado. They had back-to-back wins against Columbus and Colorado, both at home. They've given up multiple goals in 6 of the last 7 games, but so far 0-0 through 35 minutes in Montreal. Petrasu with a throw backwards towards Brian Vera.
as Derek Etienne Jr. I think Sargeant's got a bit more involved, but no real quality from him yet. Not a lot from TFC in attack at all. Montreal have been the better side. TFC quite comfortable defensively. Gilman and Zimmerman have decent games, but as I said, the lack of quality has really been apparent in both boxes.
Longstaff. Push forward, Rios couldn't get on the end of it. Zimmerman picks it up here. Viet did well there and finds Rios. Bugai. Minute of this one here, and a game lacking in quality goalmouth chances as Bugai's throw goes forward towards Longstaff. Bugai picks it up, skips that first challenge. Rios wide for Longstaff on the right, crosses high to the back post. Now Noah straight cutting inside.
Lovely skill, wasn't it? Great little chop from straight. Just outfoxed Kobe Franklin.
Danny Pereira, the new signing from Austin, on the bench tonight. Georgi Mihailovic just towards the right end of the bench for TFC. Back at Montreal where he did so well. Sargeant. And he's been fouled.
A bit of bother here, doesn't know where he's going, just swipe, the skill gets him out of it. Josh Sargeant, lovely little turn. It's a clear foul from Ryan Vera.
Zimmerman on Louis. Towards the final 5 minutes of the first half as Zimmerman picks it up here and lays that ball forward towards halfway. Sargeant, now Coelho wide to the left, and Derek Etienne Jr. picks it up. He'll have a run at Bugai here. Coelho. Corbiano. Montreal fans and decent voice inside the stadium here. Coelho's ball forward. With 2 shots so far in this game, just
asking for a yellow card here, and it could have been a yellow card. Little tug from Loturi. He's been caught out of position a couple of times, which is really unusual for Victor Loturi in that Montreal midfield. What a great touch that was from Coelho around the corner. Better from Toronto.
Having a word with Guido Gonzalez Jr. pleading that yellow card. Starting skills of the game down here during their run to the last 16.
The thing I'll say here, Jessica, is that Toronto need to speed up the play a little bit. When they do have possession of the ball, it's lovely keeping possession. Once you get into these areas, move the ball faster.
Corbiano. Here he goes, Corbiano into the box, headed. Franklin was the target. Gilman drives, chaotic around the box. Longstaff puts his boot through it. Ball pulled back from the referee, straight took some contact. Was waiting to see if there was an advantage. Coelho penalised.
Cheeky little 50-50 right there.
Across to defend there as the cross goes high in and played by Luca Gavran. And a lack of quality in the moments that matter, in front of goal tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of endeavour out there, obviously. Derby, this game, so both sides know the importance. The league positions come into that as well. They want to get back into action, make an impression. Doesn't always go the way that you hope. I would think that kind of match sharpness, the rustiness that we're seeing is because of that time off, and hopefully it'll be better in the second half. Zimmerman forward, Coelho on with the challenge. Given away. This is Loturi in the midfield. Now Samuel Piet. Noah Strait. Inside the final minutes of the half. Shouldn't be too much time to add on. Wouldn't think so. Slowly inside now. Almost as a second striker. Just alongside at times and underneath Josh Sargent and Etienne Jr. on this left. It's an attack here. What an overload TFC have. Zimmerman's ball out for Corbiano down the right side, rolled in for Sargent. No chance for Sargent to get on the end of that one from what was probably TFC's most promising break of the half.
Easily, what was it, 5v2 there, Luke, at one point. Didn't come to anything. It's a really poor pass from Corbiano. Got to take way more care with moments like that. Moving into what is 1 minute of time to be added on at the end of this half.
No hydration breaks tonight, of course. Here's Longstaff. First league game both of these sides since May the 23rd, when TFC lost at Chicago and Montreal tied at DC. Either side in good form heading into the World Cup break. Back it comes for Monlouis. Now Zimmerman. Monlouis' ball out to the far side. The referee blows the whistle to bring the first half to a close. In Montreal, these two Canadian rivals so far unable to test either goalkeeper. Gillier and Gavran with a quiet night. And at the break in Montreal, it is tied 0-0. You're watching MLS on TSN.
tiempo. 0-0.
Game of Major League Soccer following the World Cup break, and so far it is 0-0 after 45 minutes of play between these two Canadian rivals. Very little by way of goal-mouth action in the opening half of this one. No changes for either side as the teams make their way back out. Last time Richie Laryea took to the pitch, he was taking on Morocco with Canada. Now he's starting in midfield for Toronto FC. Very versatile, of course, having played on the right, on the left for Canada, having played in the midfield, having played as a central defender for Toronto FC this season.
Yep. Yeah, he's done okay in the middle of the park once. I think he turned into trouble and gave the ball away in a dangerous area, but he's been decent, as we see ex-CF Montreal man Jordan Mihailovic, who'll be hoping he can get back out there on this field. His best football has been played on this field under Wilfried Nancy. And he's someone that I think TFC need back sooner rather than later. When you think about the way that first half went with the lack of chances, Mihailovic is the type of player that has the quality to open a door or two and to create chances for others.
Two teams on the outside looking in the Eastern Conference playoff picture, and so far yet to really cause any trouble for either goalkeeper. After the first half of action, Toronto FC with the first of 4 games in a row away from home. They'll go to New England on Wednesday night, then they'll go to DC and New York City FC before a home game against the New England Revolution in the middle of August. That'll be the first time they have been at BMO Field since they lost 4-2 against Messi in Miami back on May the 9th. Pretty even game though through the opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, not a lot in it. Maybe just shaded by CF Montreal in terms of some of the positions that they got in. Not with chances, but that's down to their lack of quality and concentration when it mattered. TFC defended pretty well at times, but I don't think they showed anything going forward. Couldn't get their attacking players in the game. So it's finally poised at the beginning of the second half. Hard to tell where this one will go, knowing that both sides have to up their quality for sure.
59% possession for Montreal in the first half. They had 9 shots, 1 on target. Toronto with 4 shots, of which none were on target. Here is Samuel Piette. And Bugai back out for Neil down the right side. Lovely little flick forward there for Bugai as the cross comes in. Zimmerman stretching, it's behind for a Montreal corner. Sinchuk with nice link-up play there on the far side.
Done it a few times, isn't he, Sinchuk, where he just sends Jackson Gilman in between. Either have to go all the way there or stay off. And little flick was good to the willing run of Bugai. I think that partnership's been decent. Sinchuk's got a chance to swing this in with his left foot. Takes a shot instead.
Sinchuk, first corner of the second half. Longstaff laid off Petrasso. Can he get a shot away here? Oh, Petrasso dances through against Coelho. And that one has gone out off Rios, if it does. Kept in play, though, by Petrasso. In fact, the flag is offside.
Yeah, Petrasso in an offside position. Good little run from him, though. A couple of little feints to try and create a cross.
Mentioned earlier that 6-1 win here for Toronto FC last year. It was also a 1-1 draw when the teams met at the end of August at BMO Field. Ante Seeley giving Montreal a late lead before Jonathan Osorio, who is suspended tonight, level for TFC in the 89th minute. Space here for Sinchuk to carry this one forward. Montreal with numbers up. Sinchuk rolls it forward. Daniel Rios back towards Sinchuk. That was poor. Zimmerman just able to take it away.
Yeah, great play from Zimmerman, but it's far too obvious. Look,
given away by Shaloi. And then Montreal give it straight back.
I did feel like Sinchuk could have took it forward more himself in the first place.
Bugai down the right. Sinchuk Closed down by Gilbert as this cross comes in from Piet straight towards Gavron. I wonder at what stage we will see Georgi Mihailovic coming into this one for his return from injury. One goal, 2 assists this season. The attacking midfielder born in Jacksonville. Only 5 appearances and 4 starts for Mihailovic before the injury. You mentioned his time here in Montreal under Wilfred Nancy. He had that season in 2022 before he left for Europe, where he scored 9 goals, had 6 assists. And in 2021, 16 assists. Played in all 34 regular season games.
How superb that season looked before he went to Eredivisie in the Netherlands. Georgi Mihailovic just so good in that 3-4-2-1 shape that Wilfred Nancy loved. Excellent team to watch, wasn't it? A lot of guys that went on to bigger, better things. Alistair Johnson, Canadian international, had a big part to play in that team. Ismail Kone.
Nicely done by Coelho as he stepped in well and then comes away with the ball. Corbiano's in space down the right and goes through towards Sargent. TFC asking for the penalty. Nothing given by the referee. Kevin Stutz is in the VAR booth.
Didn't think so, but it is a close one. It's just lacking a little bit of pace. I think he's playing for it, Josh Sargent, trying to slow his movement down to create the contact. I didn't think that Brian Vera's legs got tangled up with Sargent, so in my opinion the right call was made there. It is again, Coelho with a great run. Just lacking a little bit of pace. Well, when you see it again there is a bit of contact from Vera. I don't know, it's kind of tight. Not one that I think would be considered clear and obvious, but as you see more and more replays, it was clumsy from the centre back from Montreal.
TFC winning the last 2 seasons here in Montreal. We mentioned that 6-1 win. The year before, it was around about this time, July 20th, in fact, when Richie Larea scored the only goal of the game. 1-0 win for TFC that day. Larea down the right side now. Push forward for Corbiano to chase, but straight into touch.
Good ball. Etienne Junior was on. He's got his hands in his head because a nice little corridor opened up there for Larea just to whip it into Etienne Junior on the other side. He didn't see it, and it was a poor ball to Corbiano down the line nonetheless.
Petrasso. Harris ball across the back towards Neil. Etienne Junior closing down, but it comes out down that right side for Bugai. This is Sinchuk with a little back heel.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
So he does like to get forward, doesn't he, Bugai?
He does. He's a willing runner. Maybe just lacks that top level quality look, but he is a willing runner. Don't mind the partnership that he has with Sinchuk, who's a clever little player. And for me, he's been the best player in the park tonight, Sinchuk. His little flicks, and when he gets the ball, you think things are going to happen. I think he's had the highest quality out of anybody Another little flick there that kind of leads to that play. But again, TFC defend quite well. They've been alert when it comes to some of these situations. Montreal not been sharp enough to capitalise on passages of play.
Piet hooking this one forward, and Simchuk was chasing, but it'll be kept in play by Bugai on the far side. This is Notori. Piet down the line, Longstaff. Bugai's ball into the middle, Louis controls.
Well done. Not an easy one, that one. Louis just stayed calm, good touch, cleared it away.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Excellent defending.
Bugai's ball forward. Gillier with a long ball here downfield. 22-year-old keeper from Chile. Coelho's ball through the middle, and it's an opportunity here as Gillier makes the save to deny Derek Etienne Jr., but the flag was up anyway.
I mean, it seemed like it was a couple of yards offside. He was so far ahead of that back line, and you can normally tell by the reaction of the defenders. If they're in a panic, it's pretty tight. None of them really bothered too much there. They knew he was offside. Gillier still had to make the save. Good save, got out quickly.
Longstaff with the ball out wide for Simchuk on the right side. He's up against Gilman. Back it comes towards Longstaff. Longstaff's first touch just took the ball too far away from him. Couldn't get the power behind the shot then, and that's a foul given away. Richie Larea feeling the full force of the challenge by Simchuk.
Zimmerman again, though, throws his body on the line. Gets out to it quickly, and you're right, Longstaff was just little sloppy touches and great, too slow to get the shot away. He's going to get that nice and tight to his body, get a quicker shot away. It's that level of quality that's been lacking from both sides, and pretty much explains the positions that they're in the Eastern Conference.
Zimmerman, down the right it goes for Corbianu. On Louis. Laraya's ball backwards, Richie Larea. With 2 goals, 2 assists this season, missed the last 5 games for TFC. Had that injury that he picked up towards the end of April. His last TFC game was actually April 22nd, the 3-3 draw against Philadelphia. Said to us when he was in studio on Park the Bus a couple of days ago on the World Cup show that he didn't feel great in those 2 friendlies leading into the World Cup. They were the first games he'd played since April. And he was good to go once the World Cup got underway. Started all 5 games, Richie Larea. Is Rios. Now Petrasso with the high ball in. Daniel Rios just didn't know what to do there when he got it.
Slow, wasn't he? Got to be quicker than that. Ball was out to the right, it was so obvious. Get out your feet, play the ball, go again. Just take his time, look to the left. Too slow in the football and was tackled from behind.
Coelho. Closed down by Piet there. Up top here for Richie Larea down the left side. He's up against Vera. Etienne Jr. in the middle as Larea slips, and Vera needs to clear this. Chipped away as far as Piet. Now Longstaff up towards halfway as Straight flicks that one back inside. Is Shaloy. Coelho. Shaloy's ball in towards Etienne Jr. Now Larea. And from distance and a tight angle, he was never really going to trouble Gillier from there.
No. Wild strike. Substitutions coming is Danny Pereira. His first start for CF Montreal. Fabian Herber's on the midfield.
So Fabian Herber's coming in, former Philadelphia man. And it's Piet and Laturi leading the game.
Just freshen up the midfield. Herbers for sure can get forward a little bit. Danny Pereira probably sitting a touch where Piet was. I think Herbers will play in that higher position. Laturi took up more often than not.
Samuel Piet at half-time was 100% passing completion in that first half. Herrera coming in for his first appearance for Montreal, joined on July the 2nd from Austin for $1.4 million in general allocation money for this year, and another $700,000 in general allocation money next year. Big signing for Montreal, big investment.
Yeah, big investment. I think his quality, I think he improves Montreal, as we see that lovely bit of defending from Petrasso and Corbiano again. It's been a good battle that I think Petrasso's winning at the moment. TFC are going to go to the bench. Vilsan, ex-Montreal man, and Malik Henry coming in. Maybe Corbiano's one of the players that'll leave. Not had much change out of Luca Petrasso tonight. Yeah, I'm excited to see how Danny Pereira settles in, Luke, with Montreal, who his partner's going to be, how that'll improve them in that area. I think it's a zone that probably needs freshened up a little bit by CF Montreal.
Jules-Anthony Vilson, Montreal-born striker, at 23 years old, hasn't seen much action for Toronto FC. Just the one goal last year following his move from Montreal.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's for Franklin, so he's going to partner Josh Sargent in some form. Probably Larea drops back into full-back position. We'll see what it does to the team. It is Corbiano who's had that long layoff. It's going to take a bit of time to be up to full speed, but nowhere near his best tonight.
Shaloy towards the byline. Third MLS appearance this season for Vilsan. Scored last August against Columbus. His only goal in 7 appearances last year for TFC.
I'm trying to figure out what this TFC shape is. A lot of attackers on the field now. Etienne Jr. and Shaloy. You've got Vilsan and Josh Sargent, Malik Henry. Larea does seem to have come across this right-hand side, but it might be more of a back three, an out-and-out back three now with Malik Henry as a sort of wing-back, Shaloy on the other side.
Robin Fraser saw Thomas Tuchel go 6 at the back yesterday and thought, I'm not doing that. Let's throw on attackers.
Yeah.
Coelho.
The hardest thing in the world when you've got guys like us critiquing it after the game and decisions that you make as a coach that in a lot of ways you have no idea how they're going to pan out. Because sometimes it's a gut feeling and you go with it. Robin Fraser feeling tonight, the gut feeling is to go and attack. Vilsan looks like he's in a bit of a midfield position at the moment. Keep an eye on that one. I've never seen him play there before in my life, but certainly not posting up top with Josh Sargent as he's came onto this field.
Coelho inside for Larea. But at some point from a Toronto FC perspective, you're winless in 8. This is a game that is there for the taking right now.
Go for it, yeah.
If you've got any chance of making the playoffs this season, you're going to have to win games.
Yeah, but
lots of them.
Well, it's the same for both these teams. For TFC, they've got a bit more quality on paper, on the field, and they've got to go for this. You're right, look, points not really good enough. When a game's there for the taking, yellow card given, the Sargent just breaks away there.
Danny Pereira.
Yeah.
His first moment as a Montreal player is to go into the book.
Most cynical though, you see Sargent's away here and he stops at the counter where he's got Shalawi on the outside, on the left.
It does tell you about how fit Georgi Mihailovic is, or isn't.
Yeah, it's not fit. Don't even know if he's capable of playing any minutes. If he's been left on the bench there just after the hour mark when his type of profile is absolutely needed. Looks like Vilsar's playing in that sort of position.
On Louis. Kept in play by Malik Henry down the right side. No goals or assists for Henry so far this campaign. This is his 12th appearance. Longstaff. Goes off Zimmerman on the way through and Gilman plays it back. Here's Monlouis. Down the right towards Richie Larea. Closed down by Longstaff as Larea plays it towards halfway. Strong challenge, but now over the top it goes and Malik Henry's off to the races here up against Luca Petrasso. Petrasso wins the day this time.
Excellent again from Petrasso, wasn't it? The timing of the challenge.
Rios with the ball wide to the right. It's Sinchuk now up against Gilman down that far side. Sinchuk into the area, cuts in, drives it in, and Gavron with his palm stung by that strike. Sends it behind for the corner.
Yeah, Sinchuk the most likely to open the deadlock tonight. 1v1, you know what he's trying to do, difficult to stop back inside this time. No block from a TFC defender, but Gavron stands tall. Good save, right at him, should make it.
Montreal's fifth corner of the game, just about the midway mark of this second half. That is the second shot on target in the game, both of them coming from Sinchuk, and it is the first since the opening minute. Can a set piece be the difference here at Stade Saputo? Longstaff, the former TFC man, standing over it. Sinchuk lurking on his own on the edge of the box. Longstaff's delivery headed away, straight towards Sinchuk here. Sinchuk's shot off Coelho, behind for another corner. Seemed to have so much time to bring that down and took too long.
Yeah, a lovely composure, I thought, in the first place to get it back to his left. As you looked at it, there were so many bodies to go through. It was going to be difficult to make it into the back of the net, blocked by Coelho. A little bit of pressure building now for Montreal.
In towards that 6-yard box, Zimmerman once again with the header away. Bugai back into the box, Zimmerman clears once more. Only as far as Longstaff, who drills from distance.
Ambitious. Extremely ambitious from there. And there's a little wry smile there. Matty Longstaff. Not a bad game tonight. When he gets the ball, he's been one of the cleanest players out there. Careful with his passing.
Gilman down the left side. Bugai going across to defend here as Guido Gonzalez Jr., the referee, has a good look at that one when Etienne Jr. went down. Now Shaloy trying to get this one back as it looked like he gave a foul away. Yes, he did. Yellow for Shaloy.
Yeah, he's pulling at Bugai all the way. He's feeling like it was a foul the other way, and I probably agree with him. I thought TFC were a little hard done by. This is the second one. I don't think I've any complaints. Definitely impeding David Bugai.
Second yellow card of the season for Daniel Shaloy. Neil, across the back here for Vera. Next up for Montreal, they're at Nashville on Wednesday before welcoming into Miami here on July 25th. They'll then play New England and DC at home as well. Big August for Montreal. Sinchuk to the byline, that deflects up into the air and Gavin can claim.
What a ball that was from Brian Vera. Right into the foot of Sinchuk. His touch was lovely. And actually quite late defending from Gilman. He was done a little bit by the ball, but he didn't panic. Stayed calm, got a block on the cross into the thankful arms of Luka Gavrin.
Pereira's ball inside. Back it goes from Herbers towards Jalen Neal. Herbers once again. And Sinchuk just can't quite bring that one under control on the far side. So into the final 20 minutes. Still 0-0 between Montreal and Toronto FC. Still no shot on target for Toronto FC through 70 minutes as Petrasso plays it inside and forward it goes from Vera to Longstaff. Had a lot of minutes this season for Montreal. Longstaff, this is straight down the left. Longstaff out for a corner off Vilsack.
Different kind of role for him tonight, isn't it? He's got to track back the midfielders, show his defensive capabilities as well.
3 goals in 45 games for Vilsack during his Montreal career.
He showed promise at times. He's not really taken that over to TFC yet. Look,
Sinchuk with the outswinger, and both teams appealing for that, and goes the way of Montreal. It's another corner.
interesting that Montreal are choosing to outswing every corner, whether it's Longstaff from the other side or Sinchuk on this near side, always swinging out towards the penalty spot.
Montreal's 8th corner in towards the back post and pushing in the box there as that goes the way of Toronto FC, who have had 2 corners. So Gavrin will get things going here for Toronto. Neither side involved in a 0-0 this year. It would be just Toronto's 2nd clean sheet of the season if they can see this one through. It would be a 4th for Montreal. Is Lorraine to take the throw on the near side. The MLS All-Star as Montreal gets set to make another change here. Looks like Owen Graham Roche is getting set to come in. The academy product. Ready for a first appearance of the season. The 7th all-time MLS appearance. And Georgi Mihailovic also getting ready to come in here for Toronto FC. Arrived in the summer transfer window last year. This ball played into the box. Bugai gets it away. Huge fanfare and a huge fee for Georgi Mihailovic. A key part of what Toronto FC is trying to build moving forward. His season this year derailed by injury. But now Well, he returns, replacing Derek Etienne Jr.
Good to see him back. A little bit of booing from the home crowd, as you would expect, but he's a player that can make a difference in the second half of this season. Got to get up to full speed, full match fitness as soon as possible for TFC.
A player who achieved so much during his time in Montreal. He's got a couple of assists in his last 2 games, but that was all the way back in March. Hasn't played since the win against Columbus before the March international break, back on the 21st of March.
Lovely bit of skill there, no straight, just nutmegging Richie Larea.
Longstaff, Pereira. Five goals in his first 15 games for Toronto FC for Georgi Mihailovic. Is Vilsaint. Montreal just holding for a moment before making the change. We're hearing it will be a straight swap up top with Owen Graham Roche coming in to replace Rios. Is Larea. Still not quite ready to make the change. Philippe Guilefroy was ready to put in Graham Roche, but I think then maybe when he saw Mihailovic coming on, he's just waiting to see what happens for a moment. Canadian Youth International Graham Roche standing by. Made his debut in Montreal in April of last year in a loss against the Red Bulls.
We were just waiting to see what Mihailovic has done to that shape. It's a little bit all over the place from TFC with a lot of attackers on, but I think it's about Montreal going forward. There's some of the spaces that they can pick up now.
A lovely ball from Pereira to pick out Blue Guy. This is Sinchuk now, edge of the box. Rios with a shot. And it's behind for another Montreal corner. Rios, as we're led to believe, just about to leave the game, almost finished by finding the back of the net.
Yeah, that would have been something, wouldn't it? That was his last touch in this match. Put that in the back of the net. It wasn't a bad opening for him again, right at Gavrin.
Well, that was his last touch. Graham Roche comes in. Yet to get his first Montreal goal. Just his 7th career MLS appearance. Longstaff with the outswinger. Zimmerman once again flicks away, drops towards Sinchuk. Sinchuk chips this one back in. That's 2 or 3 times now where Sinchuk has been alone on the edge of the area from a set piece that hasn't been able to make it count. Jalen Neal, the player, down.
Too obvious, wasn't it, to try and chip it to the far post. It was very clear that's what he was trying to do, and Gavrin read it. And to your point, Luke, I think to strike it, that goal would have been a better option.
At some point, someone's going to have a go here.
You think so? The point doesn't really help either side, does it? Doesn't really set them up for success as they go into these remaining 20 games, as you said. 19, I guess, after this. There's a little contact there between Zimmerman and Jalen Neal. Wasn't much, was it? It's just coming together.
So inside the final 12 minutes of Stade Saputo, Montreal with 2 draws in their last 3 games. 2-2 here against Portland, 4-4 at DC. They would be extending their winless run to 4 if they can't find a way to find a winner. For Toronto FC, it would be 9 without a victory. Coejo. Milsound through the middle, he's done well, and Mihailovic chasing away. Sargent in the middle, Henry at the back post as it comes back here for Shilowy. Plenty of attacking pieces on here for Toronto as Sargent brings it down. Struggled to get into the game, Josh Sargent, tonight. Hasn't been any service though, has there?
Pereira in the middle of the park with that little splitting ball to Herbers. He's run on that back line. It's not a bad strike from Rios, but he's got to be more assertive with that strike through it. And that was his last touch of the game.
Here come Montreal. Vera down the left side finds Noah Strait. Louis in with the challenge. The only other game ongoing right now. Quite a start in St. Louis, where the home side are 2-0 up against Sporting Kansas City. Still to come tonight, Seattle against Portland, and tomorrow amongst the games, El Tráfico, the Galaxy and LAFC. Here's the high ball forward, Zimmerman on the end of it. Out it goes for a Montreal throw, and it is the home side on the front foot in the last few minutes here, trying to find a winner. Louis away. Henry chasing forward as Vera gets this one back towards Gillier, I should say. Out to the right it goes for Neil. Neil's ball up towards halfway. Game getting stretched here at the moment as Pereira picks it up, and Pereira's ball forward cut out there by Richie Larrea.
It was his touch though, Luke. The chance was there to play in Noah Strait, and his touch let him down. Allowed Larrea, to get back round and cover, make the interception.
Shilowy down the left, it's a decent cross in. Petrasso doesn't deal with it as he lets it run, and picked up by Henry at the byline. Louis. Gilman down the left side. This is Shilowy up against Bugai. Herbert's back defending as well. 8 minutes plus stoppage time remaining as it comes all the way back to Zimmerman, who's done a good job at the back tonight. He's been relied upon for clearances from Montreal's many corners. Henry down the right. This is Larrea. It goes off Ferret. It's a Toronto corner on the right.
Bit better. I think Henry's brought something a little bit different, that directness and pace of his. Larrea, more conventional right back type role now. It's nice and high. Mihailovic over to take it. You feel now that a goal for any side would seal it, such as lack of opportunities in front of goal.
Mihailovic, the substitute, standing over this. Looped in towards Zimmerman at the back post. Away by Bugai. Help forward towards Noah Strait here. Can Montreal break quickly? Not too many options as Noah Strait looked to try and cut in. Zimmerman was the one to get back. Graham Roach was the only player forward.
He's feeling a cramp, I think. Immediately went down to his calves. Bad decision to try and come inside where all the bodies were and outrun them all. It was never going to happen. He had to wait, and Graham Roach getting through the middle, try someone in the box or keep the ball.
41% of TFC's goals this season have been scored from minutes 76 to 90. That's 9 of their 22 goals. Louis steps over halfway. Now it's Malik Henry. Louis, the English central defender, across the back. Coejo. Henry. Richie Larea, extremely reliable and can slot into midfield, but it does take something off from that right side or the left side for Canada, but he likes to get forward and causes problems from that fullback position.
Yeah, I agree, Luke. I think more as a wide player who could get forward is his best position. As a pinch, I think he's decent in there at this MLS level. But now he's on the right. Looks like there's more threat on that side. Certainly a partnership between Malik Henry and Richie Larea now down that right flank.
Mihailovic given away as Neil clears it away. And that one has just stayed in play. Zimmerman. Now Montlouis, closed down there by Strait. Coelho hooks that around the corner and down the right it goes as Richie Larea looks to try and get back. Larea's ball into the middle. Keeps possession, across it goes here for Vilsaert from distance.
We've seen 5 or 6 of these kind of shots tonight where both sides have had players in half-decent positions just underneath it, missing the goal by 10-15 yards.
Away by Gillier as he was closed down by Josh Sargent. Graham Roach battling there with Zimmerman. Youth against experience as it's picked up now down the right. Bugai. Longstaff. How Longstaff would love a late piece of drama here against his former team. Hasn't looked particularly likely.
Goalmouth scramble here that Zimmerman kept alive, and Vilsaert's trying to turn. Just scrappy stuff, isn't it? Nothing of any real quality in the box.
Should be a free kick for Toronto, it is, and Jalen Neal penalised for the foul on Mihailovic. They'd be fortunate not to get a yellow card there as he stopped TFC getting things going. This is Coelho with the free kick on the far side. Might be another change coming here. Olga Escobar getting set to come in. And we're hearing it will be for Noah Strait when this change takes place. And it goes high towards Gilman.
Unlucky. Did okay, just got a bit turned trying to get his head on that, but he's a game player, isn't he? He's someone that I think has a bit of personality, and he's added something to his TFC defence. Another decent night from him. Escobar's on, Straight's off. Not a lot of time for Escobar to have an impact on the game. He's got a lot of quality, this lad, but I don't know if he's found that consistency yet in his career to show his full potential.
Played against Canada in the Gold Cup last year, scored in the Gold Cup semi-final in the 2-1 loss for Guatemala against the US. He was born in the US. Here's Chiloe down that left side up against Bugai. Chiloe's ball in and dropped almost there to Sargent as the ball was missed-cleared. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Kansas City pulling a goal back at St. Louis. Here's Mihailovic. Mihailovic for Chiloe. Chiloe's ball back in, couldn't find Henry.
Almost all. Lovely little ball from Mihailovic to play in Chiloe, and then he does the right thing. He's trying to cut it back to 6-yard box. Sargent, Henry's there, just no one on the end of it. Ryan Vera, a good little clearance.
Wilson. Given away and picked up by Longstaff. The ball down the right. Owen Graham Roach will chase. Montlouis is back there defending. Graham Roach, the youngster, towards the edge of the box here. Sargent gets all the way back.
He's superb. It really is. Well, we can talk all we want about Sargent's quality where TFC need him. all night, never in the right position. Not always his fault, I think, service as well, but we cannot criticise his work rate, his effort for the team. This epitomises it. To make that run to double up for Montlouis, superb stuff. Graham Roach never looked like he was ever going to beat the TFC defence. Get a shot away, did he? Looked very apprehensive and hesitant.
Clean sheets hard to come by for Toronto FC. This would be the first since March the 8th. High ball forward, Neil underneath it, heads it away. Drops for Larrea. Gilman. Now Shilowy cutting inside against Bugai. Gilman's ball forward. And that's off Neil for a Toronto throw. Shilowy took a tumble, I think wanted a free kick there. 4 minutes to be added on here. Pierre-Luc Lausier, the Canadian fourth official, with the board. Through it goes towards Josh Sargent. Lovely turn here from Sargent. Good footwork as well. Shilowy on the left side. Shilowy's ball in, cleared away by Petrasso.
Just hits it, Sargent. He deserved the indulgence of just having a strike there on his left side. He did so well. He just decided to pass.
Larrea's ball through for Henry. Vera away. Out by the corner flag for a Montreal throw.
Larrea's not happy, doesn't think that it came off him on the way out. Looked like it did though, it took some kind of deflection.
Would be Toronto FC's first 0-0 since last August against Atlanta. At Montreal, you have to go back even further, over a year since the last goalless draw. That was last April. 0-0 draw against Orlando. That was also here at Stade Saputo. Here's Henry. Maybe there is time yet for a late winner. Henry driving towards the byline, flips the cross into the middle. Mihailovic couldn't get there, drops for Shilowy, and Shilowy can't keep it down.
It's another one, isn't it? 15 yards wide of the goal. He's had a poor night, Shilowy. He's been off his game, nowhere near his best.
Midway through the 4 minutes being added on here. Can Montreal make this count? Longstaff, the former Toronto man, stands over it. He's just asked to move that back a little by Guido Gonzalez Jr. Longstaff with the delivery here. Time running out for Montreal to try and get all 3 points here at home. Bugai's throw in towards Sinchuk, who tries to turn. Straight out of play from Sinchuk for the goal kick. He looked lively in the first half at times, didn't he? But hasn't really been able to produce anything.
No, he's been missing the end product, but he looked the most likely, I'll say that for him. And he kept going most of the night. He didn't really have any support cast around him for the home team. Not been good enough from them, but TFC and themselves have been pretty poor. And you just wonder, I know 9 teams make the playoff look, but I don't think these two guys look like playoff teams. They certainly don't look like they're sides that can be in the automatic playoffs. I think the best hope for either of these teams is the play-in game.
Free kick for Toronto. Escobar with the foul on Larrea. Will there be time to take it.
Not in a rush, really, are they? Everyone's going to come up, but he's going to let them take it, I think. Gonzalez Jr.
One final opportunity to try and break the deadlock. TFC without a shot on target on the night. Coelho's ball forward. Herrera got a touch, and then the whistle goes and brings an end to this one. These two Canadian rivals play to a stalemate, a 0-0 draw in their first game back after the World Cup break. Chances lacking. Toronto FC without a shot on target, but clean sheets for Gillier and Gavron. Montreal winless in 4. Toronto now winless in their last 9 matches. It finishes at Stade Saputo. Toronto FC 0-0 with CF Montreal.
Terminado.